Believe it or not, Rockstar Games is working on another game besides GTA 6 as we speak. It's not Bully, not the rumored open-world medieval game, not Red Dead Redemption, but the studio is returning back to Max Payne for the first time in years. Alright, today we've got a big update on the Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes, and this one changes everything we thought we knew about the project. And until now, the general understanding was that Remedy Entertainment, the original creators of Max Payne, were rebuilding the first two games from the ground up, while Rockstar Games, who owned the IP, were simply footing the bill and handling publishing. That was the deal as announced back in 2022. Remedy builds, Rockstar pays. But now Remedy's latest investor report has dropped, and buried in there is a small line with massive implications. Rockstar is not just funding this project, they're working closely with Remedy on it. The exact words were close and productive collaboration, and that's a big shift from the old narrative. Why is this such a big deal? Well, Rockstar isn't in the habit of co-developing games with outside studios. They tend to build internally or acquire studios outright, and when they license out, it's usually limited to funding or publishing. So this close and productive partnership signals that Rockstar sees something special here. This isn't a casual money injection, it's an active creative partnership. Rockstar has an almost legendary reputation for their obsessive attention to detail, especially when it comes to world building, animation, AI behavior, and cinematic presentation. Max Payne 3, their last entry in the series, is proof of that. It was a technical marvel for its time, with incredibly polished gunplay and one of the most immersive noir stories Rockstar ever made. They clearly know this franchise inside and out. On the other side, Remedy is the master of narrative-driven action, and bullet time was their baby from the start. They invented that slow motion gunplay mechanic in the original Max Payne, and their recent games like Control and Alan Wake 2 show how far they've come with storytelling and technical polish. So this partnership feels like a perfect storm of narrative craftsmanship and the way production muscle. Here's what's officially confirmed right now. The Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes are being built as a single package using Remedy's Northlight engine, the same tech behind Control and Alan Wake 2. It's coming to PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series XS. The project is fully funded by Rockstar, and now we know they're actively collaborating during development. And as of today's update, the game is in full production, which is the phase where most of the core assets, levels, and systems get built out. What we don't have yet is a release date based on Remedy's typical AAA development cycle, plus where they are now, late 2026 seems like a reasonable window, but that's speculation. And Rockstar, being Rockstar, will probably hold back any big marketing push until the game is closer to ready. Now it's important to look at the history here. The Max Payne series is iconic for a reason. The first two games launched in the early 2000s and set the bar for cinematic storytelling in shooters. Their use of graphic novel style cutscenes, noir-inspired writing, and bullet time mechanics influenced countless games afterward. The franchise's tone and style have always been unique, blending gritty crime drama with almost poetic narrative elements. But despite their influence, the original games have aged, especially in terms of visuals and controls. That's why fans have been so eager for these remakes to not only look modern, but to capture the feel and pacing of the originals while improving the gameplay to meet today's standards. Remedy's involvement reassures us about the story and tone being respected, but Rockstar's deeper collaboration now means we can also expect a level of polish and scope that's rarely seen in remakes. Rockstar's resources could mean better AI, more cinematic presentation, and tighter gunplay mechanics. That's something the community has wanted but wasn't guaranteed before. There have been some leaks and rumors worth mentioning. Industry insiders have suggested the development team is quite large, over 150 people, which indicates this isn't a small side project but a serious AAA remake. There's also talk of the game combining the narratives of the first two games more seamlessly, possibly adding missions or scenes to smooth the transition, so it plays like one continuous experience. As for the gameplay itself, bullet time will obviously be central, but the hope is Remedy will refine it, making it smoother, more responsive, and visually more impactful with modern VFX and animation blending. Enemy AI should also improve dramatically. The originals had solid but somewhat predictable enemy behavior. With modern tech and Rockstar's input, expect smarter foes who flank, use cover more effectively, and generally present a bigger challenge. Visually, Remedy's Northlight engine is capable of delivering stunning lighting, facial animation, and environmental details. With Rockstar's eye for detail, the urban settings, New York's rainy streets, dark alleys, and neon-lit interiors would feel more alive and immersive than ever before. And Rockstar's involvement also strongly hints that they will lead the marketing and release strategy. They're known for calculated reveals, no leaks or early beta footage, just big splash trailers timed perfectly. We should expect a reveal trailer sometime next year once the game is far enough along, followed by targeted marketing campaigns that build anticipation steadily. Something else to consider, Rockstar working on this means they are clearly investing in their legacy franchises beyond just Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead. This is their first major public involvement in a classic remake in years. It suggests they recognize the value in revisiting their past with a modern audience in mind, and that they trust Remedy to deliver the narrative heart while Rockstar boosts the production values. Of course, nothing is without risk. Collaboration between two major studios can mean conflicting visions or scope creep, especially when Remedy also has other projects like Control 2 and Firebreak in the works. But given the resources and talent on both sides, this is more likely to be a well-managed effort. For fans and gamers watching, this remake now carries huge expectations, and it should. We're looking at a project that's not just updating graphics, but reimagining a beloved franchise with the combined strength of Remedy's narrative expertise and Rockstar's production mastery. It's a rare chance to see how legacy can be honored while being pushed forward in gameplay and presentation. So to sum it up, what was once a remake funded by Rockstar is now a true co-production. Remedy and Rockstar are working hand in hand to create something ambitious and exciting. The game is in full production, targeting next-gen consoles and PC, and we can expect a polished, cinematic, and immersive experience that respects the originals while delivering modern gameplay improvements. Keep an eye on Remedy's next financial updates and Rockstar's official channels for the first trailer. It's coming, and when it hits, expect it to be a major moment in gaming this generation. That's the story on the Max Payne remake, and this is a game to watch closely. It's shaping up to be one of the most ambitious and promising remakes in years, and with these two studios working closely together, it could even set a new benchmark for how remakes should be done. Before we wrap up, I want to touch on what this means for the future of gaming remakes and collaborations in the industry. The fact that Rockstar and Remedy are working so closely together sets an encouraging precedent. It shows that even giants like Rockstar recognize the value of partnering with specialized studios who know their franchises intimately, rather than just outsourcing or licensing. If this model proves successful, we might see more of these collaborative remakes where the original creators have a seat at the table alongside big publishers.